Good day, everyone. Our topic for today is ether. The contents of the topic are short background of ether, the history and properties, functional groups, properties IUPAC or common naming, writing of structures, examples, common IUPAC names, structures, and their uses. Ether. Ether is an organic compound which contains an ether group like oxygen atom connected to two alkyl or aryl groups. Short background for ether. Ether bands are found in a wide variety of natural products such as mainly secondary metabolites, which includes oxiranes, lipids, polyketides, terpenoids, flavonoids, and carbohydrate derivatives, to name some representative examples. Next, the intoxication effect of the ether are the same to the intoxication of alcohol. The difference is it is more potent. The person who is using ether can experience distorted thinking, euphoria, and visual or auditory hallucinations at higher doses. Last, ether is an excellent solvent for extractions and for a wide variety of chemical reactions. It is also used as a volatile starting fluid for diesel engines and gasoline engines in cold weather. Dimethyl ether is used as a spray propellant and refrigerant. Why is it called as ether? According to Rusu, Vitalik wanted his platform to be underlying and imperceptible medium of every application, just what medieval scientists thought ether was. He came up with the word Ethereum to describe the decentralized protocol. Diethyl can also be an ethyl, but was once called sweet oil of vitriol methylphenyl ether as anisole because it was found in aniseed. These are the molecular formula and synonyms. The molecular weight is 74.12. General formula for ether. Symmetrical ether. It has two identical groups attached to the oxygen atom. Asymmetrical ether. It has two different groups attached to the oxygen atom. Uses of ether in medicine. Anesthesia. Antiseptic recreational drug spirit of ether. It is also used as an illicit drug to induce sedation and euphoria. Other uses of ether in our daily lives are cleansing agents, insecticide, and cosmetic products. It is also used as refrigerants, aerosol spray, propellant. Disadvantages of using ether. Highly flammable compounds gets oxidized and turns into an explosive. May lead to nausea and unconsciousness while working with it to chemists in laboratories. Uncontrolled exposure to ether may be toxic to our health. These are the examples of ether. First is the diethyl ether. It is a colorless liquid with sweet odor, a common low boiling point solvent, and an early anesthetic. It is used as starting fluid for diesel engines. Second is the dimethoxyethane, or DME, a water miscible solvent often found in lithium batteries. Third is the crown ethers. It is a cyclic ether, one of the most polar simple ethers that is used as solvents. We have here ethylene oxide, a cyclic ether, also the simplest iopside. Second is the dioxane. It is a cyclic ether and high boiling solvent. Features of the topic. We have here the ether, structure, MP in Celsius, BP in Celsius, the solubility, and the dipole moment. First is the dimethyl ether. This is the structure. The MP in Celsius is negative 138.5. BP in Celsius is negative 23.0. The solubility is 70 grams. Dipole moment is 1.30. We have also here diethyl ether, tetrahydrofuran, the dioxane, and so on and so forth.
Function group of ether. The ether functional group that consists of an oxygen atom that forms single bonds with two carbon atoms. Ether are good solvent for other organic compounds because of their low reactivity. They readily dissolve nonpolar molecules. Proper IUPAC or common naming. Steps. IUPAC system of naming. The names for ethers are based on the alkene name of the longest chain attached to the oxygen. The shorter alkyl group and the oxygen are named as an alkoxy group attached to the longer alkane. Generally, the YL ending of the other hydrocarbon group is changed to OXY in order to obtain the alkoxy group. Refer to this table. Alkyl group name CH3 as methyl. Alkoxy group name CH3O methoxy. Alkyl group name CH3CH2 as ethyl. Alkoxy group name CH3CH2O ethoxy. Alkyl group name C6H5 phenyl. Alkoxy group name C6H5O phenoxy. Alkyl group name CH3-2CH isopropyl. Alkoxy group name CH3-2CHO isopropoxy. So here is a general rule in IUPAC naming. Rule number 1. Select the longest carbon chain and use its name as the base name. Rule number 2. Change the YL ending of the other hydrocarbon group to OXY to obtain the alkoxy group name. Rule number 3. Place the alkoxy name with a locator number in front of the base chain name. Example, methoxyprofane as the longest chain. CH3-O-CH2-CH2-CH3. Alkoxy group. Numbering the longer alkane give 1-methoxypropane. Writing structures of ether. Ethers are a class of organic compounds that contain an ether group. An ether group is an oxygen atom connected to two alkyl or aryl groups. Ether are recognized by the fact that it has a single-bonded oxygen surrounded by a simple carbon side. Ether function group has two ethyl on each side, so it's called diethyl ether, and IUPAC name called ethoxyethane. If we have two of the same group carbons of both sides, we will use the prefix di. For examples, CH3-O-CH2CH3. On the carbon side, we have oxygen and a single bond. We have one carbon in the first, and the prefix of one carbon is meth. And because we treated it as an alkyl group, we'll use a YL ending, so we can simply say methyl. And we have two carbons from the other side of oxygen, which is simply ethyl because it has two carbons, and oxygen, that single-bonded side, is ether. And the example structure called methyl ethyl ether. Another example, CH3O-CH3, which has a single bond and carbon on both sides that is the same. Because we have two methyl groups, we simply call it dimethyl ether. Common and IUPAC names. Common and IUPAC nomenclature of ether. Ethers are named by both common and systematic nomenclature of the IUPAC rules. Common system of naming. In common nomenclature of ether, it follows the rule of naming different alkyl or aryl groups attached to the oxygen atom on either side in alphabetical order and finally adding the word ether on it. For example, C2H5-O-CH3 is read as ethyl methyl ether. Additionally, as part of the procedure in common naming, ethers in which the oxygen atoms are attached to the same group on either side are named with the help of Greek numerical prefixes such as di before the alkyl or aryl groups attached to the oxygen atom. For example, CH3-O-CH3 is read as dimethyl ether.